Hi, I'm Jessie, an early childhood education student, and today I want to discuss about early cognition and education, the preschool years. My topic is language development, and in this topic that I want to discuss is the fundamentals of language development in early childhood. Let's get started. First, the auditory development. Auditory development, where William James described the world of the newborn baby as a blooming, buzzing confusion. At the level of auditory development, the newborn's world is remarkable, where the cochlea and auditory nerve provide extensive pre-processing of signals for frequency and intensity. By the time the signal reaches the auditory cortex, it has already been processed and categorized. Researchers discovered that human infants were specifically adapted at birth to perceive contrasts, such as between B and P, as in beat and pit, in a language, as well as the specific forms of some highly frequent words, long before learning the actual meanings of particular words. Although the infant is not yet learning words, they are acquiring the basic auditory and intonational patterns of their native language. Second, articulatory development. Children displays continual advances in vocal production. At birth, the child is capable of four distinct types of cries. First, the birth cry. Second, the pain cry. Third is the hunger cry. And the last one is pleasure cry. The birth cry occurs only at birth and involves the infant trying to clear out the embryonic fluid that has accumulated in the lungs and trachea. Second, the pain cry can be elicited when pricking the baby with a pin. The hunger cry is indicated that the infants need to be fed or feed. The pleasure cry which is softer and not too frequent at first, but it seems to be the cry from which later language developed. In the first 3 months, the baby's vocalization involves nothing more than cries and vegetative adaptation such as sucking, chewing, and coughing. Around 6 months, the baby begins to say infant babbling. Neural control of early babbling is built on top of pattern of noisy lip smacking that are present in many primates. The child phonological process, child first word, can be viewed as a rendition or imitation of adult forms that have gone through a series of simplification and transformation. Third is the first word. The emergence of the first word is based on 3 earlier development, and these are the infant's growing ability to record the sounds of words. Second, the development of an ability to control vocal production, which occurs in the late stages of babbling. Third is the general growth of the symbolic function as represented in play, imitation, and an object manipulation. According from Plato to Quine, these philosophers have considered the task of figuring out word meaning to be the core intellectual challenges. The fact that the words are picked up in specific contexts suggests that meaning may begin with a great deal of detail, much of it eventually irrelevant, which is the prune of overtime. Lastly, the grammatical development. The transition from the first words to the first sentence is nearly imperceptible. After the child learning their first words, they begin to produce more and more single words utterances. As their vocabulary grows, they begin saying words in close approximation, separated only by the short pauses. The grammatical patterns are often acquired word by word, provides further evidence for the operation of item-based patterns. Children learn item-based pattern by listening to sentences. To understand how the child learn complex syntactic structures, we need to see how syntactic processor can combine words using item-based and feature-based patterns operating in real time. English is unique in terms of extent to which it relies on strict word order patterns rather than on grammatically markers for case and agreement. Thank you for listening to my short topic that I discussed.